What is up, YouTube? So, today we are here to discuss one more topic. Um, Now, I don't really have kind of any framework or any guidelines to what I want to say, um, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about AI and about the future for my generation and just what's going on. I'm gonna take these off because I don't really need them, and it's a little distracting. So, I was talking today with one of my coworkers, and he was talking about like, oh, you want to be with this company, or something about like, oh, what are you going to be doing in 10 years? I was like, well, I want to start a business, and I'm actively starting a business. And he's like, oh, so you don't want to be with the company for 10 years? I was like, no, not ideally, not. Ideally, I'd be able to have my own thing, get that going, and then kind of have my own sustainability or like work for myself. And I know that when you work for yourself, you don't stop working. You're always on the go. There's no break. When you work for somebody else, there is breaks. There is your lunch break. There is just the 9 to 5. You're working 8 hours a day. There is a break. There's a weekend. But when you work for yourself, there's not really anything like that. Um, but I wanted to see if this feeling that I have relates with you. So I don't know if I'm the only one that I know who feels this sense of urgency to get something done. With the way that everything in the world is happening, with the advances in AI, with Fable, Mythos, OpenAI, Mythos, Fable, these AI processing models, language models that are super hyper advanced, that the US government is banning it. That's insane, first of all. Like the capabilities of this AI for probably cyber security or cyber hacking or kind of involving itself in places where it shouldn't be, for the government to step in and be like, okay, we're going to pause. Because the government doesn't unilaterally step in that often. So for it to do it here, it's kind of crazy. Excuse me. Um, but that just made me think like even more now I have to lock in and work even harder to get my own thing set up, to get my own business set up, to get my own passion set up, to get my own structure set up, to get behind or get in front of the trends, to understand the trends, to understand what makes people tick, to understand marketing, so I can get in front of the AI boom. And the AI boom has not even just begun to start. Like it's just now starting. And I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that sense of dread, I guess, for the future, that if I don't get something going now, if what I have doesn't work now, in 20 years, we're going to be living in a completely different country. Like the way that I see things playing out, it's a little bit doom and gloomy, right? Because of my Orthodox foundation and the prophecies in the Bible, the prophecies of the saint, every of the saints, or the visions of the saints, everything is gonna get worse before it gets better. The world is gonna globalize. There's gonna be wars. I don't think a saints prophesied anything about AI that I've seen yet. About technology, they have about technology advancing. They've been prophecies about cars becoming chicken coops, and yeah, different wars. Turkey, something's gonna happen in Turkey. Turkey's gonna be given back to the Greeks by Russia. Like these different very specific things. Um, but with AI, what I see happening is there's going to be a universal basic income. There has to be, because AI is now a technology that provides value without benefiting or supporting or bringing alongside it humans. You have the developers, of course, but humans who work, they no longer are benefited by the technology. Typically, it's humans are benefited by technology. Oh, we have a cash register. Okay, now the cash register the customer or the person can use. Oh, we developed cameras. Now you can be a videographer. Oh, we developed computers. Oh, now everybody can work. Oh, Excel is a thing. Oh, everybody can do Excel now. Or people can learn Excel. Like there was a technology and then human value, and those two things work together so that humans could actually benefit from that technology. But what is happening now is that technology is advancing to a point where regular humans are not seeing any benefit financially from the benefits in technology. Cars, auto driving, all these things benefit humans monetarily because it saves time. So they could be answering emails or working on school projects or stuff like that while the car drives itself. Like there's a tangible value from the technology to human resource. But AI doesn't do that. AI creates value without giving that to humans. So universal basic income will be a thing. And the people who have the riches, the wealth, the businesses, the knowledge, they will be fine. They're going to have their own things. They're going to be benefiting off of their investments, off of their planning, off of their businesses, while everybody else is going to be stuck at the bottom. It's going to be poor people and then rich people. That's it. There's going to be universal basic income people and then rich people. There's going to be no middle class. Like I see that already. That's starting to happen, um, and that is, I think, what is going to happen. And so I feel this rush to get my media business started, get my advertising business started, get this YouTube channel started. Like if I can start with this, build a personal brand, and then get that going, like unstoppable. Because AI can't replace people. Now it can replace the sense of people. But people want authenticity, and AI can't do what I'm doing here. AI can't just. I guess it can go off the top, but it can't give you personal anecdotes from myself, from my story. And now it can't do the things that I can do yet. It can't be me. It will be able to copy me and model for me, but it can't be me. It can't be spontaneous like I can be spontaneous. Maybe someday it will be. I don't know. But I do feel this crunch or this rush or this desperation that I need to get things going. I need to work harder. I need to do more. And my time is already stretched so thin. Um, and it is, I don't know if anybody else is seeing this or can see this, can perceive what's going to happen. um, it doesn't seem like it, the way people move, how people care about Love Island, for example. Like who cares about Love Island? What even is the Love Island? What, why do people care about this? Well, it's a distraction. And I very much, I'm not afraid, because as a Christian, my fears or my emotions shouldn't be kind of riled up by anything in the world, because really in the end it doesn't matter. But for the sake of existing, for the sake of comfort, I guess, for the sake of putting my talents to use, I don't want to be a person who doesn't put his talents to use. And like I see two paths for me. Either A, it works, great. B, I will buy a one-way flight to Greece, hitchhike my way onto Mount Athos, and become a monk there. Sting my way up there. I don't even know how. I'll just do it. Um, Lord willingly, right? That'd be the plan. Because those are the two options that I see, and neither of those seem like a bad option to me. Um, but I just wanted to see if anybody else feels this way, that desperation or that something's gonna happen. Like there's a cloud, there's a gloomy cloud, and I know the sentiment has always been, oh, just it's just nothing ever happens, right? Oh, nothing ever happens. Nothing. The Civil War, nothing ever happens. But I think that we're reaching the end of that line, or we're ending that, reaching the end of the fuse, where no, something's gonna happen. It's not, humans have been so, or at least Americans have been so coddled, and technology has made everything so easy and so comfortable that people don't really riot, people don't really revolt. There's no real reason to revolt. Sure, there's injustices, there's outrage, there's wars, there's suffering, but we're fine. We have a job still, we get paid, we have insurance, we have a car we can drive. We're fine, right? So far we're fine, that we know of. We're fine. So, we don't really need to ride in the streets. We don't really need to actually cause change. Well, back in the day, I think there wasn't this comfort. There wasn't air conditioning. There wasn't couches, or yes, there was couches, but you know what I mean. There wasn't like the sense of comfort that we have now, or docility, I guess. Technology has made us very docile in nature, where we can now distract ourselves with technology. Oh, life sucks. I can distract myself with my phone. Everything's become so shortened that the idea of a revolution or the idea of massive change will not happen by us. It'll happen by technology. It'll happen by AI. These big changes that happen are going to occur because of AI. They will occur because of these businesses. Um, or it will be too late and all these changes will impact us at once, and then that will cause, because the way that everything happens, and you can see it throughout time, the way that these changes happen, the people in control, or the people that want a certain vision of the world, they have a strict, or they have a very clear way that they do it. They make a big change, but not big enough to cause any real desperation or any real it's just enough that it makes you uncomfortable. Makes you uncomfortable, it maybe impacts you a little bit, but then they'll roll it back. But then they still leave a chunk or they still keep control of a chunk. So they originally took this much, but they're going to bring it back and they're only taking this much now. Incremental little change. Okay, now they're taking this much, but they're here and they're going to return here. So they're going to be here. Oh no, they're going to take this much. We're going to we'll give you back this much. So now they've stolen this big chunk of rights or freedom or of opportunity, whatever, and now you're stuck with this much. So you feel like, oh no, they're actually giving back to us. Oh no, they're not keeping control of everything. They're actually giving back to us now. Sorry, they are actually taking all that you have. They're taking all of your rights. It is it's a difficult time. But what's cool about it is that we have this opportunity to kind of communicate it. We can build these brands, we can build these ideas, we can build these thoughts, we can build these groups, these communities where people can make each other aware. And I don't think that's something that should be looked down upon. I think technology should be used in a very beneficial way. Um, these communication outlets should be used in a very beneficial way that helps people, encourages people, informs people, and not just distract people. So I think an actionable step that can be done can be to make that effort to one, either reuse everything you're doing on social media and focus it into, okay, you want to start a business? Let me learn from what these people on social media do. Let me learn how to distract people. I don't know if that's wrong as a Christian to want to, okay, I need to figure out what these systems are that technically do manipulate people. Like marketing is manipulating people. It is taking advantage of people's base instincts of making them feel emotionally connected, connecting them to feeling or making them react somehow. So it is, in a sense, manipulation. Um, and it's a manipulation to benefit me. So I don't know necessarily how that all kind of squares, and I'm still trying to process it because, for example, I had somebody ask me about life insurance. They're like, "Oh, what do you think about life insurance?" It's like, "Well, I do think that it is partly a scam, but at the same time, the boomer generation does not want to give up their wealth. And whenever life insurance are calling people, you typically are calling boomers because you can, for me to pay life insurance, it's like $12 a month and I get $1 million backing or $1 million policy if I die. Because the chances of me dying are so low that these people are going to be getting their money. And then in 20 years, I'm going to be on a different plan. And right, it's going to be now $50 for a $600,000 policy. And then when I'm 50, it's going to be $200 for a $700,000 policy or whatever. Like the premiums keep going up, the total keeps going down because the risk is actually high. A 70-year-old is going to be paying a lot more in insurance than a 22-year-old because a 22-year-old has much more life expectancy. So I don't, but I see a problem in that because you are being predatory towards these elderly people and you are actually taking advantage of them. But at the same time, these people are not willing to give up their wealth. They do not want to give up their wealth to their generations. They're the first generation who do not want to leave the generation after them better than they were. They hate that. They hate the idea of giving future generations opportunities or giving them these things. And so, from one angle, I'm like, yes, this is wrong. Life insurance to these people is wrong because you are really taking advantage of them. But at the same time, they're not going to be giving it up. They're not going to be sharing it. They're not going to be helping future generations. So might as well take it while you can, while they're still alive. Give it to the youth. Give it to these 20-year-olds who are calling 70 people a day to try to close 3 deals in a day. So I don't know. I don't know. And comment below what your thoughts are with this whole topic, with this whole situation, with everything going on, the desperation going on. Are you feeling the way that I feel, or do you not really relate or just distracted? Um, but, anyways, I want to thank y'all for watching another video. This is fun. I enjoy doing this because I can just kind of yap and I don't really have to concern myself about an algorithm. What I've noticed is that with TikTok, for example, it'll recommend you to people who you know, or with Instagram, it'll recommend to people who you know, but YouTube doesn't really do that. So I can kind of really spill my thoughts and not have to concern myself, I guess, with the real life. But, anyways, God bless.